Yo, can I get in on this? I want another one, two. One, two. Oh, you thought it was through. This was just one assignment, boo. Judge checking with God, getting next instructions. You need an advocate, reach out, he might be coming. This young black king needs no introduction. When he shows up, haters hate seeing him coming. And no, he's not Malcolm, he's not Martin either. He got his own style. Ja-da-da-ya, we see ya. This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move. And when he comes through, you know they coming too. Hey yo, INA, where you at? What it do? They got receipts, they got them files. They gon' investigate an advocate, holding it down. And when it comes to intel, you know they showing out. You smiling in Jed's face. Hold up, check that file. Don't run up on them either, they always in the crowd. INA got his back, you don't know when they around. This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move. And then there's Jed's mother, you know she gon' speak. She praying for the people, prophesying what she see. Jed, God got you covered, he's holding you down. He's showing you his favor, his mercy, his power. So always stay humble, give God your best. Remember you're a man, ain't no S on your chest. You know where help comes from when you're up or you're down. That crew runs deep, keep the real ones around. This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move. Yeah. That crew runs deep, keep the real ones around. Keep the real ones around. INA runs deep, keep the real ones around.
Good morning. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? This is your boy Jedediah, the host of Investigate and Advocate, the proud commander of For the Culture. I am on two different screens. Thank you all for being here, both on YouTube and Facebook. I really, really appreciate you all taking out a moment to be with me on this morning. And I just want to kind of speak to you guys about a couple of things. The reason why I had to separate them is because Facebook doesn't allow me to go public when I'm broadcasting from the studio. And so you guys will probably not be able to see the same thing, but finally I figured out a way how to just make it clear for the people who are on Facebook, where we got 111,000 of us over here, 15,000 of us over there. I just want the enemy to know no weapon formed against me will ever be able to prosper. And why am I saying that? Because those who are after my YouTube channel, I just want you to know you must don't know who you dealing with here. But I didn't come on here to signify. I didn't come on here to waste nobody's time. I didn't come on here to beat my chest or any of that. First of all, I want to give a shout out to all of my resources, Investigative Advocate and Organize, and those who are a part of Investigate and Advocate. I love those who are part of For the Culture, because you all are my family and we got work to do. So what I wanted to remind y'all is that I am here in Washington, D.C. I don't just talk about it, I be about it. I'm here. I'm here in Washington, D.C. And last night was pretty boring, pretty simple. I walked around the community, and I ain't see nobody for real. Didn't see any National Guard. Really saw very few police. Came back to my hotel to go to sleep because I had to get up early this morning. And then, y'all, I had two amazing and very powerful meetings this morning. Oh, they out here. Oh, they love the kid. They love the kid. I had some very powerful meetings this morning, and I got some people who said, Jedediah, you've been out there a long time. It's time for us to get you some real help. And so, y'all, today I feel really good because I feel like I'm heard. I feel like I'm felt, and I'm just going to cross my fingers and see what kind of backup we get for those things that are concerning the tables of our heart. So here in DC now, what also, I've been outside, and I've not filmed it because it's, again, I said that I was going to those meetings, but I talked to quite a bit of residents, and people just have mixed feelings, and they don't really have there is no real consensus to what people are feeling. It's literally like this out here in DC. I saw a military checkpoint, so that is not a lie. So they have a military checkpoint, and it was like they was checking every other car, but and I'm not in a car, so I don't know exactly the interaction with them, and I'm trying to stay back so that I can kind of sort of get the information. I ain't trying to be the advocate right now, jump in. Why you messing with them? What's her name and badge number? What you on? No, we not doing none of that unless I see somebody I feel being violated. But I only saw one person get upset. It was one brother. He said, I'm working. He was mad. What do y'all want? He got back in his car. He drove off. They said we're just doing the contact and the check. And I thought that that was pretty interesting. Everybody else, it was a contact. Now, let's be honest here. If this is what they're doing to increase presence and public safety, I get it, but it is lessening liberty. And grown folks don't want nobody telling them what to do. So I get it. But I saw the checkpoint, but this is what's interesting. It's like there 1 minute and then it's gone the next. So it's not like I'm seeing a presence of the National Guard or all these police agencies. I'm seeing them do random things around the city. I've only seen 3 things so far, but overall, I've just been walking around. It's not a ton of people outside, and it's just like, I'm telling y'all, it feel like COVID. It feel like COVID, but I want to remind you, I am around the White House. I'm around the Capitol. So I am going, my expectation is that it will be a different experience when I go into the hood. So that's where we're going today. So that's why I've been spending part of my morning praying to the Lord, because when I go to the hood, I don't know what we're going to see, if anything, but that's where I'm going to go. And I've been asking, what are the worst parts of DC? Like, what a worst hood at? Because I'm going there and I want to see if it's going to be a difference. Is there going to be more presence, more interaction, more stops, more arrests, more engagement? That is what we will be doing tonight. But we won't be doing it all night because, as you know, the mayor of Dalton, and I don't know if y'all see it, Dalton is back viral about some woman who said that another woman put a knife on her daughter and she didn't like the way that the Dalton police handled it. We're going to address that. But tonight, the mayor of Dalton is expected to be sitting with me on Investigate and Advocate for his first interview since becoming the mayor on our platform. I have talked to a wide range of people from black to white, Asian, and even brown. And so it's just, again, it's been interesting since I've been here. The other thing is I'm going to be on Fox and Friends, Newsmax, and some other news stations nationally in the morning. I'm going to be on those stations in the morning talking about this experience, and the word is getting out that I, as a advocate and as a Chicagoan, traveled all the way to DC to see this for myself. And because I have the opinion that I have and I have the profile that I have, they're going to give me a voice today on those national platforms. And I pray to God I do well in representing the people of the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, and everything else that you all want to attribute to my name. With that being said, there are some people who are reaching out to me that are here in DC over social media. I'm going to be meeting with a couple of them in a little bit. And then later, I'm going to meet up with some other ones. I think that is always exciting and fascinating for me when people want to meet me and hang out with me. So I'm going to hang out with them very briefly. And it's always amazing because you could say whatever, people could say whatever they want to say about me, right? But most of the people who want to meet me, they know me from doing advocacy over 10 years ago. Jedediah, I started following you on this. And Jedediah, I saw you when you did that. And Jedediah, I saw you when you showed up for that. So all of the things about me not working and me not showing up, or it only being for one or two reasons, or people trying to make it political, absolutely could never be true or attributed to me clearly. So I'm very excited. So if you are another person that want to meet up with me, I got very small moments of availability while I'm here in DC. I would love to meet with you. Now, according to my title, I want to speak to you guys about my enemies. I have opposers, and rightfully so. Anybody in public space will. But today I wanted to get on here and I wanted to talk specifically directly about and to those who are opposers of mine. Um, One of the greatest things that so I am trying to transcend the space of, and this is what I kind of tell people. I do what I got to do to get done, to be effective where I'm at. But I am not no dumb man. I'm not a man that's mental. I know what it takes, and I'm just willing to go the distance. And just to be honest with you, most people aren't. But since I have been preparing to run for United States Congress, I've had to expand my knowledge and I've had to count up the cost of what I'm willing to give up and what I'm willing to become and what I'm willing to do, what I'm willing to learn. And it has been very earth shattering and shaking for me. And in that regard, I just want to say to you guys that I am a victim of cyberbullying and harassment right now because there are people who mention my name every single day. They try to break down everything that I do and put a negative tone to it. They're trying to get people to stand up and rise up against me. And if you really look at it, they always talking about what I'm doing against them. But anybody who speaks up favorably of me, they attack them and call them a cult member, or they try to make them feel bad for having an opinion that's different from them. And that is bullying. That is the harassment. They say that I'm irrelevant, that I'm poor, that I'm a grifter, that I'm homeless, that I'm powerless. But every single day, they are speaking on what I'm doing. They say that I'm chaotic and that I bring drama. But if you've really been paying attention to me, then you've seen that I bring confrontation when I'm dealing with an issue. But mostly what I'm dealing with and talking about are real things that we are addressing. And so those rumors about me have never been true. But this is what I deal with when I'm showing up and I'm being an advocate. But since getting ready to run for this seat and literally praying more and talking to God more, because this is a huge undertaking, I wanted to come on here and I wanted to tell them thank you. I wanted to tell them thank you. And I want to tell them thank you for several reasons. Number one, I want to tell them thank you because God cannot prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies if I have none. I want to thank them because number two, the Bible also declares that woe unto a man if everybody speak well of you. So thank you because you've now shown me that I can say I'm standing on something, and that's why they mad. And then the third thing is God said that I will make your enemies your footstool, and where I'm going, I appreciate you for helping me to get there. And so the reason why this is important is because I'm talking about my experience, but I need for y'all to hear me today. And that is that I have literally not responded under the instruction of God. Because before that, I was cussing them out, making jokes, doing episodes back about them, and literally beating their ass when they tried to attack me. That is an American value. That is a man value. That is a real advocate value. It's not that I incite violence or that I am violent, but if you put your hands on me, if you make me feel threatened, if you do something against me in the physical sense, let this United States Congressman let you know that I will always fight for the right to people to be able to defend themselves, because you will get your ass beat every time I'm available. And if I don't, you better make sure you always looking over your shoulder, because I'm gonna beat that ass every chance I get when you are trying to attack me without provocation or cause. And my justification of that is simply this: I am a man and I'm an American, and I have the same values that we have what we do for our police officers. If somebody's attacking them, defend yourselves. For our armed forces, if somebody's attacking them, defend yourselves. For our country, if somebody's attacking us, defend ourselves. So we can't have those values if we don't appreciate it when it comes down to us on the ground level. If you fuck with me, you will find out, because I will defend myself as best as I can. So I was doing that. But then I got a call from the greatest prophet I've ever known. And she gave me the instructions from the Lord. And she says, I'm taking mama out of this and I'm speaking to you as the Lord speaks to me. And her words to me was, God said, shut your mouth. You can't shut your mouth until God makes it possible for you to shut your mouth. Just like you can't save yourself until God is ready to save you. Stop letting people make you try to do stuff that you're not really ready and capable of doing. And so when she said it, she said that the Lord said to tell you to shut your mouth. And I said, okay. Now, because God said it, every time I see an attack, instead of me responding to the attacker, I just talk to God. God, I trust you. You will avenge me. You will clear my name. You will deal with this. You will give me double for my trouble. Make me stable in my thoughts and in my heartbeat concerning it. And because God gave it to me, yesterday I sat on a live stream for 30 minutes after working and doing what I do for my people and my community and what I believe in with my own money, my own dime, and my own base, with my own platform. I sat there and I watched somebody try to pick apart everything that I said and find something negative about it. And as I was watching it, what I am so grateful for is that I began to talk to God. And I wanted to come on this live stream today, and I want to thank that YouTuber, because you know who you are. You literally sat there and literally kept pausing what I was saying. But what you did do is you made me say to God, make me a better communicator, because you are absolutely right. One of the benefits that your enemies have about you is that they will try to find your negative and they'll try to highlight it to make it outweigh your positive. But when God gives you the proper perspective, and they don't even like that I talk about God, isn't that interesting? But guess what? When God gives you the proper perspective, what he then sometimes will do for me, what he did last night, is he showed me my blind spots, and then he made me want to get better in them. So I don't want to be somebody who talk big and talk long and talk around the issue. So now my prayer is, since you want me to be silent, God, make me a better communicator, because what my enemy is saying makes sense and it's right. So I want to thank you, because you trying to highlight my negative, but what you're doing is preparing me to speak on a congressional level. Thank you so much. I also want to thank you because you also allow me to understand the blind spots of my delivery. And so that's why when I got on here right now, I'm trying to make sure that I'm less emotional and that I'm more focused, because you're absolutely right in what you say. So God, continue to make me a better communicator. God, thank you for continuing to cause me to be stable and settled in my emotions, the things that I feel, so that I can deliver it to a way that, as Paul said, I'll be all things unto all men. I want to thank my enemies for literally showing me in that 30 minutes what was wrong. But because of your heart towards me, I also want to thank God for allowing me to see something else that I didn't see. And so this is what I want to say to them. Because of you, I realize that I am strong. I realize that I am focused. I realize that I am valuable. I realize that I am effective. And I realize that I am supported. And I'm actually loved quite in a broad spectrum. Thank you so much for that. And what I mean by that is that I want you to understand that my silence should not be twisted for my ability or inability. because I know for a fact that if I did do half the things that you are claiming that I would be doing, you would be doing a whole lot more crying. I want to be clear here. I have never engaged in a strike of any channel outside of things that I authentically believe. And I'm so blessed to have a team that is working for and with me to stand up against things that we believe to be passing the line of expressing your First Amendment rights. And so, with that being said, because I am strong and because I have a great team and because I have access to lawyers and politicians, and when I speak, it garners national news. I thank you so much for doing that because I saw in your attempt to try to tear me down how high I'm really standing. And that's why when I called the national media, they said, "Oh, this Jedediah? Okay, absolutely. We will speak with you." Because that's what my name and my work does. You will be limited to social media. And I don't say that as a curse, I say that as a warning. That get this, you can try to take my YouTube channel. But before I had YouTube, everybody that want to meet with me today in DC, they met me on Facebook or met me in the field. So what am I trying to translate to y'all? When God tells you to be silent, is because he wants you to see something else that you might not be paying attention to. So I came on here to thank them because I'm going to do a harder job of being a better communicator. I'm going to do a harder job of making sure that, you know what? I talked to my mama today, and she said, "But Jedediah, sometimes when you do talk, you don't finish your thought. You don't finish your statement. So why would I get mad at somebody taking my deficiency and trying to weaponize it? All I got to do now is say, okay, instead of me fighting to get even, I'm just going to work on making sure that I am giving a complete thought. So when I get off of this live stream, I'm going to sit my black tail down and I'm going to make sure that I write out my thoughts. So when I get on national TV tonight, I won't embarrass for the culture, INA, nor would I embarrass the people of Chicago, Illinois, or the United States of America, or those who I would even consider to vote for me in the thing that I'm looking for. To whom much is given, much is required. You cannot go higher if you're not willing to give something up. And guess what I decided to give up? I decided to give up y'all. And that's why I wrote on their status last night while watching them for that 30 minutes. I've given this fight over to the Lord. And then you all see them starting to share all of these things that we done all seen before. But then I saw something unusual that I ain't never seen before. Then I saw somebody in the pages of these places say, "Now, wait a minute. Y'all saying he's cyberbullying y'all. But all I see is y'all talking about him every day." Okay, wait a minute. And then I saw somebody else over there say, "But at least he doing something. Where are the works that y'all are doing?" So hold on now. What am I trying to articulate? I ain't told nobody to do nothing for me. But when God tell you to shut your mouth, I ain't got to do that. So I need y'all to get a clue today, because we often want to come on and preach at the victory, but I want to testify of the process. God has given me a peace that surpasses understanding. And that's why when I stood in the meeting in Harvey and I was looking at all my enemies behind me, I had a peace and I was smiling and it was a genuine laugh. And then I got to sit there and watch the mayor say, "And that man has done more financially in this community than people who live here." I said, "Oh wow, look at the beauty of obedience." And then the mayor of Dog said, "Yeah, I'll do an interview with you. I don't do too many interviews, but yeah, I'll do one with you." And I would say, "Man, look at that." And then I got the calls when I got out here. It was like, "Jedediah, we you come to DC? Oh yeah, we need to see you. You ain't on our schedule, but we want to see you." And then, so what am I saying to y'all? I'm saying that there is a blessing on the other side of obedience and not just sacrifice. To obey is better than sacrifice. We always worried, and then I was also looking at them last night. And it was funny because they were stopping, and then they said, here come the griff, here come the griff, and then they played, and I say, and I'm out here on DC on my dime, didn't spend $1 of my money from my organization for the culture INA. And then they said, with what income? Let me tell you something. I serve a God that clothes the lily of the field and feed the fowl of the air. Don't worry about what I live. Don't worry about how much money I got in the bank. Just look at the fact that I'm here. And in this climate we're in, and I'm able to take my time to figure out what I'm talking about as it relates to the National Guard. That's what you should be worried about. No. That ain't what you should be worried about. That's what you should be trying to get to. So I want to tell you that because you got to go to work every day and you got to deal with the problems that you deal with on the level you dealing with, don't mean that I'm compromised. But I want to tell you, I want to answer that. For the last almost decade of my life, I've been able to go where I want, do what I want to do, get what I want to get from whatever, whenever, however, whoever, including my own family and my own creative ability to get wealth, because that's what God gives you when you ask Him for the wisdom to get wealth. Because of that, I have seen my bills stay paid and I've seen my life stay free, because whom the Son sets free is free indeed. And I am happy to say to you that I'm good. And if don't nobody donate a dime for me to do community work, Jedediah's still gonna be able to survive. And guess what? I got homes still to this day. And so don't act like y'all didn't just see me come out of my place in Texas. Don't act like you didn't just see me go to another place. I ain't got to go through all that. But there's a formula for this. And let me tell you what that is. Your gift will make room for you. And if your gift is from God, is not to be meddling in everybody else's business and affairs, then that's why you don't understand what favor feels and looks like. And you're looking at a man that's getting ready to run for one of the highest offices offered to his state, after the whole world witnessed me sit in the car with a gun to my head. You don't understand that because you don't know how my God works. But if you actually read the Bible, God had pulled a whole lot of people out of the pit and sent them directly to the palace. I'm not shouting about it, I'm living it. And that's why I shout. So I wanted to tell you thank you. And I wanted to let you know that I appreciate the live stream, because I do need to be a better communicator. I do need to be more precise in what I'm saying, more focused. And I absolutely 110% need to make sure that I'm not emotional to the point and degree that it is distracting from the point. And it is all things that I'm praying for God to do, because honestly, I don't have the ability to do it on my own, because that is what makes me me. Now, I want to also explain that to you. Being emotional is not a feminine trait. It's a weakness trait. Let me get y'all together today. Being emotional is not a feminine trait. It's a weakness trait. And the weakness trait is, here it goes, that it causes you as a person to operate outside of your stability. When I'm operating outside of my stability, I got to fight. I got to speak. I got to move. So that is why in the Bible it says that the woman is the weaker vessel. But it seems contradictory when our women today are sometimes more masculine than our men and can literally, because it wasn't talking about a physical weakness. It's talking about her ability to receive a womb, ability to feel and nurture. She embodies the nurturing side of God, because he didn't create men. He said, let us create man, woman, and man in his likeness and image. In other words, it's not feminine. That's what people who don't read and understand their Bible think. That's what the world think. And we tell our men don't be emotional, and then we wonder why they don't know how to be the head. Because you got to be weak, but you got to be weak at the right space and before the right source. So my emotions is why I've been an advocate so long. It is because of my emotional weakness that I fight these fights and I go beyond what's logical because that's how I'm made. My makeup is like that. So I don't feel bad or inferior when somebody say you're emotional, because guess what I want to tell you? I'm also spiritual and I'm sensitive, and God speaks to me and I obey. And when God speaks to me, regardless of what I would do as a man, it checks and convicts me. And I find myself as a man getting down on my knees and praying to God to forgive me and to help me. And I don't mind crying and shed no tear before God in my weakness, because what he does is he answers me. And that's why I got national reach. Not because of me, not because you wanted me to have it, not because I'm qualified, I'm fine, I'm rich, or any of that, but because I know how to get weak with the right source. But I don't need to display that in my delivery. So I got to say, God, give me the strength to deliver as your man, not as a man. I want to be your man. Deliver me from me. Oh, y'all don't want to hear the Bible study class. I done lost about a good 20 people over there, but I know I'm talking right. And that's why I'm okay with it. With emotionalism is not feminism. It's weakness. It is literally you having to submit. So I submit to the world today. So stop telling y'all sons and your men don't be emotional, but just tell them to redirect it to the right place. And that's why you got to sometimes do it in the secret place with just you and God. But being emotional don't make you weak. It is a godly trait. It is a godly characteristic. And so here it is. So when the Bible tells the husband that if your wife is unhappy, I can't hear you. I've said this so many times throughout the years. It's because what he's telling you is that she was there and she is there to make sure that you stay sensitive so that you can relinquish your stability of the household to me, so that I can give you a message that you won't always be able to deliver in your strength. That's why she's there, because together nothing is impossible. Y'all don't want to hear it. That's why when men get down on their knees and pray and call out to God, it shifts environments, because it isn't what we always are able to do, because we are providers. We want to get, we want to build, we want to get notches. It's because y'all don't know how to allow y'all significant others to be weak before the Lord, or demonstrate that side of God. That's why they not home. That's why they stuck in jail. That's why they down low. That's why they cheating, and that's why they not producing. And I'll say it again, but it's all good. Keep on living in the delusion that we've been allowing ourselves to be clouded in. Not this man. But I thank you, because seeing that you ain't got to work, an enemy will tell you your faults. I take it, I own it, and now I submit it. But I do want y'all to know I'm not who they're trying to paint me to be. All of my moments that are less than normal was because I was fighting for someone or something. And if you ever been in a fight, you get bruised. You operate out of what you would normally do. So don't let nobody tell you that they've been fighting and they ain't got no battle scars. That's all they all are. And if you think after 2 decades, I'm still looking for attention, relevance, or resources, you are somebody's fool. Because I got all of it. It's the honest truth. So I want you to know that I'm big, I'm strong, I'm brave, I'm courageous. I'm blessed. I'm favored. I'm loved. I'm resourced. And I am a child of God. Don't misconstrue my silence for fear, because it's just trust. That's all it is. I'm trusting in the Lord. And I don't know when He gonna do it. And I don't know what He gonna do. But every time that I've gotten ready to respond, I get conviction. God says, stay silent. Okay. But since I've been silent, I've been seeing clearer. And in order for me to go from lowly advocate to United States Congressman, I got to be able to hear and to see. So thank you. And I also want you to know that I appreciate your attacks. It is something that I've experienced for the long haul of my advocacy. But I got to be able to accept it and expect it on a larger playing field and level. And I'm okay with that. And that was the prophetic word to me. When you become comfortable with how God formed you to be, but don't get it twisted. If you try to do something that will bring harm or imminent danger to me, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to stand there, let the police come, and I'm going to do it according to the laws of this land, because self-defense is an American value. And you will not make me feel as a black man that just because I'm a black man, that it is illegal, unethical, unexpected, unbecoming, or uncouth for me to do it. I'm going to beat your ass, put it on a campaign commercial, and prove to them I'm a fighter. So that when I get to DC, they understand the same thing. From the United States of America's Illinois 2nd Congressional District, we going to come to work dressed up, and we're going to articulate the proper things, and we're going to vote in the best interest of the American people. But if you bring your bullshit around this district, we don't mind and will not mind defending ourselves. And those are the people who are going to vote for me. And I'm okay with that. I'll take 5 questions, and then I'm going to meet these people. I'm going to do something for myself. I'm going to rest, and then we're going out tonight. I will live stream it like I did last night in the hood right here in Washington, D.C., so I can continue to get an understanding of what it looks like when the National Guard is present in the city in America, beyond the talking points of both sides. I'll also say this: if you dare, get in my inbox when I'm done with this and tell me what you would say if you was on national television, because I might read it and I might say it for you. But I'm going to tell y'all one thing that I'm going to tell the president today. Y'all want to hear? I'm going to tell y'all one thing I'm going to say to the president of the United States today. And y'all going to be able to, when y'all see it on national TV, y'all going to be like, he said he was going to say it. So this is what I'm going to tell the president of the United States today. Look, back up. We got this. Fall back as it relates to Illinois. We got this. Because when we get done holding them accountable and telling the truth about what they really doing and what ain't happening in our region, don't worry, because just like they did when the Democratic National Convention was just in Chicago, they'll be the ones calling the National Guard again to protect them. Because let's be clear here. Yes, this is a national concern. But the truth of the matter is that we hip to the fact that the Democrats have taken advantage of us, taken us for granted, have not done their job, wrote us off, and now they're trying to act like they're fighting for undocumented workers because they know that they have taken everything that we didn't have. And we are not about to be taken out of this conversation. But only the smart people just call what I just said. This ain't got nothing to do with no black people. This got everything to do with undocumented workers, because undocumented residents, because they want them to vote to keep the Democrats in power, because the Democrats are weak, they are fragmented, they are fragile. You know why? Because they ain't gave us no viable programs organizations, institutions, resources, or ability to protect ourselves. We don't even got no money to donate to their campaigns. Cost of living is all out of control because of corruption. We ain't got no ability to protect ourselves because they didn't criminalize every move we made, that we don't even have the tools. Talking about some rise up against the president. Are you out your damn mind? What they gonna do when y'all get arrested and get federal charges? Nothing. And then got the nerve and the audacity to do a press conference, and they wouldn't dare come on the south and the west side of the city of Chicago and do it, because the moment they step foot, we'll tell them, now, you know what? Don't act like we are not dumb, that we not smart, and don't recognize that the whole time we've been here, Democrats and ruled everything that we got going on. That's it. Look at our south suburban communities. Look at the south side and the west side of Chicago. Cut out the foolishness. Y'all get money for everything else but us, because they said we don't vote. But why don't we vote? Because y'all not inspiring. And we know you lying. You make all kind of promises, and then you make excuses after election day. So Donald Trump, fall back. Don't let them because anytime somebody says something against them, the new spin is to say, oh, if you say something against the Democrat leaders, you for Trump. No, motherfucker, I'm for us. Donald Trump ain't done nothing to me. He can't even reach me. Donald Trump ain't never reached me. Y'all the ones been doing it for decades and generations. Stop playing. And the sad part about it is y'all falling for the same trick. It's blowing my absolute mind. It's blowing my mind. They done everything that they could possibly do to our community to take advantage of us. And now they saying, we got to stop this and stop that, because the real conversation is not about safety. It's about the undocumented on both sides. And Donald Trump ain't no more interested in making our community safer than they are. No, he ain't no more interested in making our community safer than Tony Prewinkle was in making sure our kids didn't get fat. Oh, y'all forgot about that, didn't you? The sugar tax, it wasn't about no health. Where her health programs at now? Where is her initiatives to stop obesity now? Where is her programs to make sure that we have food that doesn't have fructose corn syrup in it? Or where is it? Where is the regulation around the types of businesses that's feeding our communities? Y'all don't want no truth in this mother. So they just want us to say, oh, you can't go against the party because you're going for Trump. No, I'm going against the party because I'm going for me. I'm going for my family. I'm going for my community. I'm going for us. And you just want to say, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. You a liar, all of you. Oh, now y'all don't want to do no redistricting, no maps? I done ran twice, and I watched y'all redistrict those maps so that y'all friends can retain power. Napoleon, why are you sending money to South Suburban College and not to public safety in the side? And you know why? Because if you send the money to South Suburban College, then y'all can make sure that the right friends in place to keep on getting that money that y'all been passing around lately. Y'all don't want no truth. Donald Trump, back up. Back up. Let Chicago finna deal with Chicago, because we hip to this. We ain't never seen our Democrat leaders come together all overwhelmingly like this and do a press conference on either side of our city and solve a damn crisis or a problem. Ain't never seen it. Oh, now all of a sudden, y'all got a conscience. I can't wait to get on national television and say, I sat there and I stood in front of a Democrat's house and I expressed my disdain. And guess what? I got charged in Flint, Michigan with being a domestic terrorist when all I did lined up with what the Constitution allowed me to do. And then the Democrats watched them steal an election. No, we don't want no National Guard. We want the Department of Justice. And it ain't, oh, it's just in black communities. Well, let me tell y'all what y'all don't want to hear. Tell these niggas to get their hands out the cookie jar. That's what I'm getting ready to say on national TV. We can't get out this mess until we honest and check what we got going on. How the hell we debating about, oh, I'm so irritated with this. Just irritated with this. Oh, we don't want more police and we don't want this, but we also, but is anybody gonna say, but do we not want us to stop killing each other? Because we doing it. Oh, we down 33%. Well, what about the other half of that? Because there's a mother today that ain't in that number that's crying because she ain't never gonna hug her baby again. Again, how was that, sir? Was that more precise, more focused, maybe a bit emotional, but was that better? Keep talking about me. Keep on trying to tear me down. Keep on trying to distract. And then they said, well, what victories have you had? Let me tell you the biggest victory that I done had in America. I've been a black man that been speaking against this system and they ain't been able to stop me yet. You talking about 39 years old, speaking the truth, and they ain't got rid of me yet? That's a success in itself. I have built several organizations that have been in causes, and each one of them have almost been national to where we have had people join across this country. And to this day, there are friendships that are birthed out of my organization that have last to this day. To this day, I have successes where I can say that people who at one point didn't know how, who was afraid to, or who never imagined that they would, are organized and speaking out in their communities. To this day, they're doing it. My advocacy have resulted in millions of dollars recovered from individuals who at one point felt unheard. I just don't have to run their names down the list. But if I call them, they answer, and they don't call me advocate, they call me their brother. I've been fortunate to sit down in almost every major project in the city of Chicago. My name just ain't on the list, but I helped bring a trauma center to the south side of Chicago. And I was sitting in those meetings and we discussed how to design it. I worked for the mayor, the longest serving black female mayor, Irene Brody, and helped them go from having a deficit in their youth programming to actually getting funding 3 times that amount in Robbins, Illinois at 19 years old. I employ young black people and I have not missed my payroll not 1 week since I started. I am fortunate to have a driver and a bodyguard, which means that I created a job that feeds a family with all of his daughters and all of those. And we again ain't missed our payroll. I've been very fortunate to help with the arrest of Mr. Jason Van Dyke in the Laquan McDonald trial because I wasn't just a protester, but if you do the research, you will find out that I was one of the many organizers and galvanized hundreds of Chicago residents to get that arrest taken to be done. Now, I might not have solved Kanika Jenkins's case, but I was the leader. And while I was in charge, I organized all the way up to 1,200 people who showed up to fight for her. But we didn't have the decision making power, but we fought for her, with most of those out of towners being fed, housed, and even receiving jail support on a daily basis. I'm fortunate to say that because of my advocacy, the fractured fight of Dalton was definitely heightened, and they was able to get to the point where everybody not just was talking about it, but they were so about it that the mayor who was in question lost in a landslide. I was very fortunate to also, like in a indirect sense, do the same thing to help them in Thornton Township. As a matter of fact, as it relates to victories, I'm so happy to say that I can think of about at least 4 people who are in elected positions that wasn't even going to run until they got inspired by me, and they're sitting in their seats today because of my advocacy. It was a woman who was smacked inside of a Maxwell's. She got out of jail before my plane even touched down in Chicago, and her son was released. And I never got a proper thank you for that. But do you know that I was able to get them to do right by that with phone calls with my relationships to get a situation that is, even though I still have my feelings about it, it's been undone. Literally to this day, ask Lori Lightfoot during her time of mayor how many murderers I have directly confronted and have contributed to them going to jail. As a matter of fact, you should ask people when I was a young advocate how many retaliatory shootings I was instrumental in stopping. Today, I pride myself in stopping the onslaught of many black people for their mistakes when they paid their deeds to society. And that's why there are people who are of the returning citizens community who love me. And then let's do it on the ground level. Man, I didn't raise so much motherfucking money, and I didn't gave it to people who have been in real crises and real issues on a direct sense. I can't even track it all no more. And I was fortunate to be the voice that called, say, you ain't gave a dime. Or now y'all want to reduce it. But my group and my platform raised $10,000 for the mayor that's going to be coming on our broadcast tonight in less than an hour. As a matter of fact, I've been fortunate enough to answer the call of the people of many cities, not bringing chaos, because in every city I've ever been in, those who stood up, they're still standing. As a matter of fact, let me take it a step further for you, since I've never had any accomplishments. I make every damn Democrat in Chicago uncomfortable just by sitting in the room. That ain't the sign of ineffectiveness. That's the sign of when I show up, things shift. I held a very successful series of events. One of them called Shift, where we had the largest gathering of residents that they had seen, to even the point that the elected officials told me, outside of the T's, we ain't seen people coming together like that. And I've had that effect almost everywhere I've gone. I've stirred the pot in the way that it needed to be stirred. And when I call, people show up. Not just once, not just twice, but I've sent, man, busloads of people who during a weekday have gone to other municipalities to stand with people who they don't know, were not connected to, were not affected by, but they had backed them up because they was inspired. Should I keep on going? I pastored my own church for 10 years. There are individuals who didn't even acknowledge God, that even though I ain't a pastor no more to this day, they still acknowledge him. And they remember how wonderful it was when we had our church, because the Spirit of the Lord was really living there. I've not had any victories. I've been fortunate to work on, man, the only project that I could think of that I didn't work on in Chicago is the Obama Center. But guess what I have done? I have successfully challenged every side of this, from Donald Trump to President Barack Obama to candidate Bernie Sanders to former Governor Bruce Rauner to former Governor Pat Quinn to former Mayor Rahm Emanuel to former Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Stop talking about me and talking about I haven't succeeded in anything. You'd be a fool. Successfully ran 2 campaigns for alderman, and even though I didn't win the races, look at the numbers. But my greatest accomplishment in all of this, because it's a lot more, I just can't think about it on the spot, but my greatest accomplishment right now is that I survived. So far, I survived. And I've shown God not to be a liar. That if you got the whole world against you and God before you, who can be against you? Blessed and highly favored got a peculiar look. You looking at it. Hell, I just did not give a woman a Jaguar. Don't talk about that. I gave a woman a Jaguar because I saw her serving her community and I didn't like her car. A Jaguar. She has it to this day. I be driving it whenever I'm there. But I ain't done nothing. Let me think. As a matter of fact, y'all remember anything I ever done? Hell, while I was working on Kiera Cole's case, it was getting the traction back and we was actually getting somewhere. What have I done? Anything else? Come on, crew, help me out. So when people say things, they just, wait a minute. Didn't I turn a person that was shooting at me into an ally and a supporting worker of mine? Didn't I lead successful protests throughout the city of Chicago every 2 weeks called the Village Take Back? Didn't I help them with the fundraising efforts of DuSable Museum when they was concerned about the funding going away? Haven't I stood up for many people who was oppressed and they potentially getting ready to lose their jobs in official capacities? But I ain't done nothing. It ain't about what I done, it's about what people want to acknowledge. There are so many things that have happened where us as young advocates put our asses on the line and put our boots on ground. And the older people went inside the back rooms, officially signed the final deal. They never came back to tell us thank you or give us a damn thing, touted the victory, but the people who fought for it was us. And that's why I'm trying to tell Chicago, don't you be no dummy. And how dare the mayor, who I personally love, but I'm disappointed in, tell y'all to rise up. Wouldn't who calls an army that have no preparation? You can't find the money for education. Y'all ain't found no way to give resources to people who not obedient to y'all campaigns in these anti-violence funds. Stop it. Hell, most places on the South, you know what? I ought to kick y'all in y'all ass trying to make anybody disagreeing with them about being talking about they sold out to some damn Republicans. I was literally driving through the South Side and the South suburbs. You barely could find a damn store to go in. Do y'all hear what I'm telling you today? Talking about some, well, sorry for Pophania. I'm not the police. And then look at this. Sorry for Pophania. She can get that up. We're still fighting for that to this day. But you know what's crazy about that? But when I go do something like kick in the door and remove the squatters, he being a bully and a criminal. Stop it. Stop it. So now I'm supposed to go grab, or let me go beat up the accused, and let me go put him some shackles on and say he don't know how to do nothing. Because trust me, no problem. But my name have been rubbed in the dirt, and my work have been played with for so long. And like I said, I've shown up to work every single day without a paycheck, and most of it be a rumor. And somehow God still has sustained me. And I thank God for that. But that stuff could never be true. But right now, I am a victim of what they're calling me. Cyberbullying, harassment, stalking, mob action, literally grifting, everything that they're saying. And they say, he doing it, he doing it, he doing it, he doing it. And you got dummies, yeah, he doing it, I see it. Uh-huh, he ain't right, he the devil. Because we don't want to ever believe. You know why? You know why? I think Dr. King made it clear. If it's dark, it's wrong. Everything black, we allow. Was that Dr. King? I don't know who said that, but somebody said that. We make everything light right and everything dark wrong. We are so intimidated by who we can be that if anybody resemble anything close to it, we try to quickly destroy them because we have been hurt so much as a community that we don't even realize that our greatest problem is in the mirror. We didn't stop people from being evicted, cars being lost in impounds. Man, I don't, again, you go to jail in every city you go to. Do you know what it looks like to fight? But let me tell you, with every arrest I've ever gone through, not guilty. Because when you do it righteously, God walks with you. And I'm not worried about this arrest in Flint. Who can't see it? But only a fool would celebrate it. Because if they get away with corruption, guess what? Since y'all want to laugh about it, do you all know that they are now going back to try to arrest that senior man and get him locked up for that charge that he had experienced when they pulled him out of the car? Talking about he had resisted, but the fact is that he didn't resist a lawful order. He was unlawfully harassed, targeted, and pulled over. He wasn't impeding traffic because as the cars was slowly moving, and he wasn't even in the front. And when they stopped him, he was off to the side. And why was they pulling him out of the car for a citation of impeding traffic? When we do know for a fact in our conscious minds that it was premeditated, as the police was in a corner of the damn city hall preparing to harass its own citizens. And then I'll leave it at that. If any of those lies and rumors were true, it wouldn't be in commentary on social media. It would be a headline in the real news. And that's why today, this is what you will see. They're going to be talking about what I did on national news, on their little broadcast. Because guess what? Ain't nobody going to be talking about them, because who are they? So, dear enemies, thank you. I do want to specifically say this to Beth. I forgive you, but I think you a damn fool. But I thank you because I didn't think that elder women were capable of the level that you have taken it. Everybody saw what happened. And that's all I hear. And that's why you wrote yourself off. And it's very unfortunate. But if you cared about that black man, you would have been finding more time to honor him than to be trying to focus on another black man that don't want nothing to do with you. But I paid attention. And I'm just trying to figure out, when are we going to learn something about him, since you such a fierce communicator and God gives you so many answers. Shame on you. I had to specifically say that because for that one, I have been nothing but kind. Yes, I went after her to cuss her ass out. You keep my mama name out your mouth and you stop jumping in my face with something you don't even know what you're talking about. And at nighttime like that, you should have your ass in the house knitting a sweater or doing something constructive. But since you want to jump in a melee of men, I'm going to check you because it's self-defense. And you a fool in my mind, you a fool. And that's why. Y'all want to talk about the rally? That's why nobody was at the service, because they see you, boo. Now find you some time to honor the man that you're supposed to be grieving. But you ain't grieving. Attention is a dangerous drug, and jealousy is not rational. But enemies are necessary. So for the last time, and this ain't me, this and get this as well. When God say be silent, that don't mean that you can't talk. It means that I'm not been engaged in this back and forth fight. But I can testify, and I can also be clear here. I'm strong. I'm capable. I'm blessed. I'm favored. I'm loved. I'm resourced. And guess what? Right now, I'm a candidate for United States Congressman. That means that I'm also capable of becoming one. And when the truth comes out of how I've served up for work, I got a feeling in my mind, because let me tell you this last thing. Everywhere I go, people are like, that's him, that's that man. He did this, he did that. They recognize me, they see me. At this point, all I gotta do is put my face on the flyer. And then this lady said, they be talking about you because of people out and other stuff. And then this lady said, but you know what? She'd be like, but you be fighting. You be going hard. You be checking them. And you be meaning it. Baby, I say this. Work on your language, but I appreciate you. Ain't nobody thinking about what y'all saying because people been watching. People know what's up. And that's why I want to represent them. I want to tell the truth about, look. What's the difference in me saying that I'll kick your ass if you try to hurt me, than the mayor of Chicago saying that the city will rise up if the National Guard come to Chicago? It wasn't the right thing to say, but it's the truth. We ain't the ones in Chicago. So that ain't nothing. Hell, y'all ain't doing nothing but watch. I demand, I'm telling my team, put every time I punch somebody on the video and put that on everybody's television. When this man say that he will fight for you, He will fight for you just like you will fight for yourself. Let somebody show up and they try to mess with my district. Let me take this tie off and this suit. We getting reparations. We getting health care. We getting respect. We getting resources for affordable housing. And if you don't want to give it to us, that's right, Detective Rick. The slides is ready. Let me take off these hard shoes because the slides is ready. Because just like the Republicans talking about coming to Chicago, I wanted to let them know that some real Chicagoans is coming to Washington. Think about that. I'm done. But think about what I just said. It ain't what I say. It's my, again, what's my problem with my party? If they really value people speaking up against tyranny, then they wouldn't have surrounded me by police officers when we wanted to ask them a question. We waited and they wouldn't have ignored our question. So if I would have ran out there on that press conference and been all over national TV, then I would have been attention seeking and wrong. But no, I ain't do that. I'm finna go on the news and I'm finna say my part. Now I'm finna be viral in the morning because I'm finna tell what y'all didn't want me to tell anyway. Me saying that I am against what my party is doing is not me being paid off or saying that I want the National Guard. It's me saying the truth. But that's how they're going to try to spin it. Anybody speaking against us is speaking for Trump. No, not at all. Trump, back up. Let us handle this. They weak as hell, and they don't want to be accountable because they're not working. How dare the attorney general stand his bald head ass up on that podium and say anything like that? How many municipalities have been praying for him to just show up, see about them? Ain't nobody stopping Kwame Raoul for showing up. Ain't no constitutional barriers for him to show up in these municipalities or put task force together or hold these Democrat leaders accountable. I'm trying to make sure I am being full in my thought. I'll say it again. Let me say it again. Because I'm finna fuck y'all up. All that money sent to refuge, house, educate, and employ undocumented workers probably would have done a good job lowering the cost of living in Illinois. Because guess what? There's no Republicans that can outvote them. They could have repurposed all that money. They could literally change the laws. They could literally change the laws in one session and unilaterally make it so that all those millions and billions go directly to the neighborhoods and build them up over fucking night. Now, I want one person on here to tell me I'm lying. Because it ain't nothing stopping them. Not one Republican can outvote not any Democrat in Illinois. Not one. But what are they doing? They going and making bills lists, paying their friends and enriching themselves. And that's why they don't got no damn power. Because they rendered their base powerless. And Donald Trump is giving his base everything they need. And that's why the radicals are rising up. And the conservatives, who are at least decent people, are being drowned out. And that's how they're stopping us from talking across the aisle. Because if we start talking across the aisle, all this shit is over with and up. The jig will be up. they will be discovered. But what's somebody gonna say? We can't afford to play the teeter-totter of this line because Donald Trump is trying to become a dictator. There is a power more forceful and strong in this nation. There's a force more powerful and more strong than anything in this nation. And that's the power of the people. Ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of this broadcast, it is with my most extreme honor and pleasure to announce that the quiet, intentional coordination of the leaders of Investigate and Advocate, it is my honor to announce that Fania Dukes is about to receive a viable offer of employment that should ensure her ability to take care of all her basic needs and then some. As I'm sitting here articulating to y'all right now, I may not be able to arrest the perpetrators that are alleged, but I just got word that INA, within a week or so, will be making a viable that Fania is about to get a viable job offer at the workings of Investigate and Advocate. Thank you, haters. Keep on proving my God. Now let me get ready to get to these people and get outside. See y'all soon. God, you can't make this up. Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Yo, can I get in on this? I want another one, two. 1, 2. Oh, you thought it was through. This was just one assignment, boo. Judge checking with God, getting next instructions. You need an advocate, reach out, he might be coming. This young black king needs no introduction. When he shows up, haters hate seeing him coming. And no, he's not Malcolm, he's not Martin either. He got his own style. Ja-da-da-ya, we see ya. This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move. And when he comes through, you know they coming too. Hey yo, INA, where you at? What it do? They got receipts, they got them files. They gon' investigate and advocate, holding it down. And when it comes to intel, you know they showing out. You smile.
I don't know who this guy is, but I want to answer this publicly because it just came across my screen. Was Cooking with Frank paid to promote Jedediah Brown? No. Mr. Cooking with Frank has never received a dime, and I have $1,000 commitment to him that I have to fulfill. He has not been paid anything by me to do anything. But Mr. Public Ops, was you paid to try to defame me? Mr. Public Ops, who's paying you to do whatever you do, Mr. Public Ops? Why is your weird ass worried about who's getting paid from who? Why are any of y'all worried about anybody else's pockets besides your own? Get you some business, get you some inspiration, but now you have your answer. Nope. He's just a free thinking man who see through y'all bullshit. And I appreciate him for it. Cooking with Frank, you a hero. Weird ass people.
I am passionate for truth. I strive to investigate and advocate where injustice finds no rest, ensuring that fairness and integrity prevail in every case.